So see, in step 5 you are getting you replaced all the zeros as x and all the ones as y. So now when in q0 state, when you are searching for zeros and ones, you are not finding any zeros and ones. Okay, so in this state what we need to do? So in the state q0, if the scanned symbol is y, it means there are no more zeros. To check, so in q0 state, when we are searching for zeros, you are not finding any zeros, but in q0 state you are finding y. That means no zeros are there. Zeros are replaced, because in q0 state we will find only zeros. So in q0 we are finding y means what does it mean? It means all the zeros are replaced as x. So to check there are no more ones, move the pointer towards right by changing the state to q3. So now we are changing the state in, now the pointer is in y and the state as q0. So when you find y symbol in q0 state, what you have to do? You have to change the state as q3, and then you should not replace any y, but you have to move towards right. You have to move towards right. So in state q3 we should see there are y's. So in state q0 we are searching for zeros. In state q3 we are searching for ones. So we should see there are only y's, no more ones. So no more ones are there, so only y's are there. So q3 comma y is equal to q3. You have to remain in the same state and you have to move towards right. Repeatedly applying this transition, the following configuration obtained. So q3, here q3, so this is q0, and then you are changing the status q3, and then q3, so q3. So here after, as soon as you come to the next one, here there is no symbol. So here there is a blank character. So already in the last class I told you the Turing machine has a tape. So in the tape is divided into cells and each cell is capable of storing one symbol. So the symbols are stored like this. So after storing the symbols, there will be a blank space. The infinite tapes are filled with blank spaces after the string. So now these are the string, means these empty spaces are filled with blank spaces. So now only these symbols will be stored like this. After that symbols, the space is filled with B. That is, B indicates a blank space. So when you come across with B in Q3 state, that means all the zeros and ones are replaced. Okay. So since the string ends with infinite number of blanks, so after that only blanks are there. So change the state to Q4. Now we are changing the state as Q4, which is a final state, because all the zeros, so there are 4 zeros, for 4 zeros 4 y's. So that means you have reached the final state. So in Q3, if you come across with B, then you have to change the state to Q4, and then you should not do anything. You cannot replace the symbol. So the symbol will be as B, and then you are moving towards right. The Turing machine, to accept the language L, a to the power n, sorry, this is 0 to the power n and 1 to the power n. N greater than or equal to 1 is defined by, so how it is defined? So you have to just write. So what is your state? How many states you got in this? Q0, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. And what is your sigma? 0, 1. What is your gamma? Gamma is nothing but tape symbols. Gamma indicates what? Tape symbol. So what are the tape symbols? 0, 1, X, Y and blank. Q0 is here, belongs to Q, is a start state, and B is the blank. So that is belongs to, it's a tape symbol, and F is a final state. Which is a final state for us? Q4 is a final state. So now we have to write all the transition. So that is, in Q0 what we are doing? We are searching for 0. So when you find 0, you are replacing the state as Q1, and then you are changing the state as Q1, replacing 0 as X and moving towards right. So after that what you are doing? So in Q1, if you find 0, you are not replacing the symbol. You are not changing the state, but still you are moving towards right. And in Q1 state, y, if you find y, then what you have to do? Q1, you have to remain the same state, and you have to change, you cannot change the symbol, you should remain with the same symbol and move towards right. And Q1 comma 1, if you find 1, then what you have to do? You have to change the status Q2, and then y. You have to replace 1 as y and then move towards left. Quickly we will take the same example, and then we will change the zeros into x and 1 into y. Okay, so now first step is what? You place the read write head in the first 0. So I am placing. So now what is the state? Q0 is the state. So in Q0 state, if I find 0, what should I do? I have to change the status Q1. So I am changing the status Q1. So Q1, and I am replacing the 0 as x. After that, what I have to do? After that, I have to move towards right. So I am going to move towards right. So in Q1 state, if I find 0, what should I do? I cannot replace, because for this 0, now it's time for me to find a equivalent 1. So I have to search only 1. I cannot search for 0. So in my search, if I get zeros, I should not do anything. So I am not touching this. So again I am moving. Again I am moving. So in Q1 state, I am finding 0, 0, 0. So I am not doing anything. So in Q1 state, in Q1, so Q1 state only, no. So Q1 state, I am finding 1. So in Q1 state, if I find 1, what I should do? I should replace this 1 as y. Okay, and then I have to move towards left direction. I have to move towards left direction. Okay, so you have to, after that, after replacing this 1 as y, you have to change the status Q2, and then you have to move towards left direction. So left direction, what you have to do? Left direction, when you move, okay, you are searching for rightmost x. You are searching for rightmost x, so that you can identify the leftmost 0. Okay, so rightmost x, how will you find? You have to search towards left direction. So when you come across with the first x, okay, you have to stop there. So I am searching. So here I am coming, this is 0. Here I am coming, this is 0. Here I am coming, this is 0. So when I come here, it is Q2. When I come here, Q2 state, I am finding x. So what I should do? So this I will consider as my, so in my left direction search, the first x, as soon as I find, I have to stop my search, and then I have to replace the state. Replace the state as Q0. Okay, Q0, and then I cannot replace, I have to remind as x, and then I have to move towards right. I have to move towards right. So right side, when I move, I will change the status. Okay, so I will move towards right. So in Q0 state, now it is in Q0 state. So in Q0 state, I will be searching for zeros. So what 0 I am getting? So that will be my leftmost 0. So that 0, I will replace it as x. So after replacing, I will move towards right. Again I will be moved towards right to search for my 1. So here I am changing, and then I am going this side. Okay, after that I will change the status Q1. I will change the status Q1. So in Q1 state, if I find y and 0, I will not do anything. So I will not search anything. So now in Q1 state, okay, so here I am searching 0, here I am searching the 0, this is y, so I should not do anything. So here in Q1 state, I am finding 1. So if I find 1, then what I should do? Then I have to change this 1 as y. So I am changing this 1 as y. Okay, so after that, what I have to do? I have to travel towards, change the status Q2, and then travel towards left direction. So now after changing this, I am going to travel towards left direction. So left direction, when you travel, what will happen? So you will come across with y, and you will come across with zeros, but you should not do anything. So you will be coming like this, and then you will be searching for x. So in x, when you find x, then you will stop here. Then you will change the state as q0. Then afterwards you will be finding the next 0. So next to 0 here, next to 0. So this is my next to 0. So if I find the next to 0 in q0 state, what should I do? I have to change it by x and then move towards right. So right side 0 again, here y again, here y again. Again in q0 state I am finding 1, 1. So what I have to do, I have to replace this as y and change the status. Sorry, this is q1. So change the status q2. So I am changing the state, I am searching for the x. So here the x. So this x I will find. After this x I will q2. So after that, after finding x, I will change the state. I will search for the 0 and then I will change the state as q0. And then when I find this, I will change as q1. So in q1 I will be searching again for 1. So this will be converted as x. Again I will be searching for 1. So I will find 1 here. So this will be converted as y. Okay, so this steps repeats. Okay, so after finishing you have to write all the steps. So thank you.